So foam rolling gets a lot of controversy because in order to make real changes into the fascia or the muscles, you need a heavy weight. You would literally need a small elephant on your thigh in order for the muscle to change. So why would foam rolling even help? The strength of foam rolling really lies in the fact that you deliberately go and lay on that thing and you breathe slowly, telling your body and your mind that it's okay to relax that muscle and it doesn't have to be tight, gaining some range of motion. And if you then, with that newfound range of motion, go and do your exercises, you will find you'll get a lot stronger, and over time you find that new range of motion becomes your standard. Now that is all good, but I still want to go on a deep dive mission in order to find a way to increase the amount of force I can put on my muscles, preferably the leg muscles, in order to get to those deeper tissues. Now, in order to find out how to increase the pressure on our muscles, we first need to know how much pressure we can already apply. And for that, we're gonna need some tools. So let's gather them and I'll see you back at the gym. Now, you saw me getting the scales, and that's because we're going to apply Newton's third law. And that is, if a force is applied, say the foam roller, to your muscles, then there's an opposite and equal force applied from the foam roller to the ground. And that is something we can measure with a scale. For reference, I weigh about 85 kilos. So let's see how much of that weight is actually transferred into the foam roller, into my thigh. Now, as you can see, we're clearly getting around 20 to 40 kilograms of force onto my thigh. Now, keep in mind, this is spread over the surface area of that foam roller. So if we're talking about pressure on our legs, that's actually force divided by the surface area of the foam roller. And as you can see, the foam roller has a big surface area. So that means we're not getting that much pressure on our legs. Now we need to think further. How can we increase the pressure on our muscles? Now, we need to lower down the surface area, so we're not using a foam roller. We're going to have to find something with a more narrow point of contact. A small hard ball would be a good thing to start, but typically you can't go deep enough because you're hitting the ground with the rest of your muscles. Also, we need something heavy. So I'm thinking, what if we use a landmine and a barbell? So we can really let that barbell sink into those muscles. I have calibrated plates, so they are very fine. They have not a lot of contact surface if you put them sideways. So I reckon if we combine that with a barbell, we can really dig deep into those muscles. Now, because the yellow plates don't get a lot of love, we are going to use those. So the infamous 35s or the 15 kilo plates. Boom. So in order to calculate the pressure of this thing here, we're going to place that underneath the plate so we can really see what the impact is of that one. Oh, Mark Bell would be so proud. So we got 27 kilos with a 15 kilogram plate, and that doesn't sound like a lot, but mind you, we have a much smaller surface area, so the pressure is going to be a lot bigger. Plus, this is like infinitely scalable. We can add weights until we can't just lift it up anymore. Now, in order to make a good comparison of the applied pressure, we need to calculate the pressure, and pressure is actually force divided by surface. Now, the units don't really matter that much because we're just comparing the two values versus one another, but we just have to crunch the numbers to see which one is which. So for the foam roller, this is the plate roller.
So we get about 45 kilograms divided by, I would say, 10 by 13 centimeters. All right. And then on the other hand, we have 27 kilograms divided by 2 times 6.
So these are the values that we call pressure. Doesn't matter about the units. But what we see is that with the plate roller, we get 6 times more pressure on that tissue, which is actually huge. And that really allows you to dig deep into those tissues, which I really like for the lower extremities. Now, having numbers is always nice to compare two things, but there are some other advantages from the plate roller versus a foam roller. A great advantage is that you cross the muscle, which actually helps to really loosen up that one fiber that is nagging you. What's also nice is that you have a very fine control with your hands over where you let the pressure come. And something else that it's very difficult with the foam roller is the inside of your legs, being the adductors. Very difficult to target, but with this plate roller, you really get to go deep into those tissues. Now, does a plate roller beat the foam roller on every area? No, it does not. For the upper body, I still recommend a foam roller. It's also a lot more portable. Now, another advantage of foam rolling is that you can move your limbs as you're rolling. With a plate roller, that's a bit more difficult. And the foam roller is typically used to go along the fibers of your muscles. And for that, it's still doing a great job. But I wanted to explore how to get more pressure onto those tissues and hopefully get a better relaxation response. And with the adductors and the hip flexors, I really think that the plate roller is an absolute great tool. So I hope you now got a new tool in your tool belt in order to get some myofascial release. And thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you liked this video. I hope you got something out of it. And I guess I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Peace!